All right.
What's up, guys?
A podcast.
This is the first time we've done a podcast.
It actually is. We've been doing all these unplugs, but never a podcast. But
I'm not even sure if this is a podcast officially. It's just
a yarn.
Just a yarn, and
yarn,
I'm not sure what are we going to use it for. All of our reels, TikToks,
The socials.
Yeah,
give it to the fans. Give it to the fans. We're
Yeah.
like, we want to get to know Capricore a little bit better. Who are Capricore?
Yeah.
Us. We are Capricore.
Yeah, so who are you guys? Well, I mean, how did you meet? That's like the cookie kind of question, eh? How did you guys meet?
How did we meet? I mean, I remember our first time. Well, first it's Jarek and I. Jarek, why are you filming, man? You're part of the interview.
Corey's filming.
Corey, we've already got filming.
Yeah, you don't have to.
You don't have to film.
You can film if you want.
I want to film.
How did you meet Aiden and James?
You don't know.
Tell us.
I don't know.
So we were with, so Jarek and I, when we were young teenagers, we were with Crescendo Trust of Aotearoa, and they kind of hooked us up through it was like a North Shore music program thing. And I remember the first time we messaged, we were just talking about music, and then you were just like, come over to my house, let's jam. And then
Did he even turn up or what?
yeah, so I went there, and I just remember that first jam session, I think we wrote 3 new songs the first time playing music together, and then ever since then we've
That's a
been
lot.
doing,
Because we instantly just clicked.
You just had
yeah,
it.
we were in sync. So
I'm
we've
going to ask you
actually,
a favor, bro. If when you talk, just talk in here, because there's gates on here, and it's like they keep closing
Could
them.
be very directional.
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean,
What were
you
you,
and-
were you on drums or?
The drums the first time.
Yeah, so you weren't even playing bass back then. You were
No.
playing drums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
so we were a 2-piece for ages. We were first called the Walking Birds, and then Free the Frequency. And then it was ages before, we had a few bass players who kind of were there for a little bit and stuff who helped us out along the way. And then we've had so many band shuffles, but I remember I met James at, what was it? It was a
Prize giving.
prize giving. Yeah, because we
Prize
both
giving.
went
Did
to
you win a prize?
correspondence. Yeah, we both won prizes. Well, awards. It was like an award ceremony thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's all coming back now.
And then the music teacher was like, "You guys should talk to each other," because she taught both of us music.
Yeah, you guys were both mute at the time.
Yep.
And then, yeah, we were like, "Hi, you want to do some music?" Yep. And then ever since then, you've
Yeah.
kind of just been part of the team.
Yep.
What was your first jam like, you two? Was it with Jarek or no?
Yeah, Jarek
Yep.
was there. It was back when Dean was in the band as well, and we were just trying stuff out, and you added a lot of synth lines to the songs, and we were like, "Oh, this is fun. This is exciting," and it was a big moment for us because it was the moment where we really changed, I think, a lot stylistically too.
Definitely. Definitely.
How so? Could you go into more detail how you
Yeah.
changed from the one style before to the new style?
I think it was just it was almost like that electronic element to it, because you were using like Logic Pro to get all your different synth sounds, and it just like,
I actually wasn't at first.
you weren't?
No, I was just using a silly little Casio keyboard.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I don't even
Those
think
are
I
the
had it
best.
plugged in. I think I just had the speakers out of the keyboard, just playing over the
could hear
loud
that
ass
or-
drums and bass. You could barely even hear
Yeah, I
it.
bet you couldn't hear anything.
And everyone knows like my first Casio keyboard sounds.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
But I remember we were just really excited to have that extra element. And then I thought much more about like, there can be a lot more soundscape going on with the band than rather before we were really raw and rocky before. And it was very 70s rock, actually. I'd say 70s with like a bit of 90s flavor. But then once you were on board and then we had Caleb drumming with us, and it kind of changed the direction where we became much more like post-punk and also a lot more of like a kind of psychedelic flavor, like psychedelic undertones, I suppose, going on. Because I've had quite a few people actually tell us we're a psychedelic rock band. Like when we went on the Only Scott podcast, he was like, "You guys are like a psychedelic rock band, eh?" And I was like, "Oh, kind of." I mean, we don't fit into like that one
Yeah,
category, but I think definitely having the keys and all the different sound effects and stuff has just brought out this whole other element to our sound.
Yeah.
And people love it live.
I mean, like listening to Dreamer gives that sort of idea of a psychedelic rock band, right? But JAFA's something different again.
Yeah.
Didn't we have a similar song to Dreamer when we first were a two-piece?
I don't know.
Like Broken People?
Broken People.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of our first songs we ever wrote was Broken People, and there was this really old one. I don't even know if you'll remember it. It was called We Are All Crazy.
Oh, that's right.
There's been actually
Great song titles.
There's a lot of Capricorn songs that'll probably never be heard because they're just
And you have
in
a
the
new,
vault. In the
you've
vault.
got a new song you're playing tomorrow.
Yep,
Tell us a little bit
debuting a
about
new
that.
song tomorrow night. It's called Naturally Wired, and it's all about being naturally wired. Because, all right, so I got the idea because people used to always ask me, especially playing at Ding, they were like, how many drugs do you take before you get up on stage? Because I'm all like, wild and stuff, and I'm like, no, I don't do any of that. No, like not before the show. After the show, maybe, but but yeah, it's like people are like, how do you have that crazy energy? Like you look like you're fucking on so much shit, but no.
I
It's
noticed
just
that
me.
too.
That's just me.
When I first saw you perform, I thought the same thing. Like, this guy is... I didn't think on drugs. I just knew you tapped into a persona that you were able to really convey to the crowd, and you need to do that, right?
Yeah.
How did that come to be?
I mean, it really, because I've always been like a little bit theatrical when I've performed, but I feel like doing the Battle of the Bands at Ding Dong, and because it was such a focus on like how can you be better every time, it was like I was just getting so into like this kind of character and like the whole performance of it. And because the music is so energetic, and when you have a whole band behind you, I feel much more confident to like go crazy and go all out.
Yeah, they have
you know?
your back.
Definitely.
You know? So, yeah, you've got your support from your team.
And then we kind of all started doing it together. Like Jarek would, walk out into the audience while playing bass, and then you were like fucking headbanging while playing keyboard, which is like everyone's like.
And then,
everyone
and then
always
there's the infamous signs.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had all the props and everything. So yeah, it just became one of our things, and everyone always talks about that. That like we're very fun to watch. Like it's not just like listening to it. It's like visually exciting, I guess. We're visually exciting.
The question is, when you walk into the crowd, Jarek, is your cable attached? Are you on like a wireless setup for your
That's a
bass?
cable.
Okay.
Has it ever been pulled out? When
No.
Really?
No.
Wow.
He's
Lucky.
that onto it. He's that onto it.
He's got a pretty long cable.
Very
All right,
long.
James, thanks for that information.
It's very long, guys.
Just thought I'd let you know.
Probably about 10 centimeters.
So, you guys, you just you released this new song. Mm-hmm. It's your second song. How do you think it is compared to the first song?
It's a drastic change. I mean, I remember I was pretty concerned at first. I was like, is it too much of a like wild turn compared to, because Dreamer is like a really polished, almost like pop rock, like, it's like I would say that JAFA, I wouldn't say JAFA's too like out the gate. Like JAFA can still be semi-commercial, but Dreamer was a very commercial song, and it was very soft. Where this is like the opposite. It's like edgy, it's punky, it's like in your face.
You're screaming in
I'm
there
screaming,
too.
I'm
I love that one
swearing.
scream you do. The wow!
Yeah, the vocal fry.
That was fun recording that,
Yeah.
and you nailed it too.
Thanks, bro.
I think that song has a lot more of your vocal range as well.
Yeah, I'm like doing a lot more things, and that was really fun. But I remember I was really concerned about like how people would react to such a big change. And I think it was actually Paul Ellis who called me, and he was like, "Nah, that's good. Like it's good to have a variety of things, and it keeps everyone really interested. And especially for the first few singles, it's like we can do this, but we can also do this." You know?
I agree with that, because also it's like, why do you want to keep making the same song over and over again, or the same album over and over again? You might as well experiment and find these other parts of your sound that you haven't discovered, and that's why I think it's great to work with different producers and try different angles, because hopefully they find something out of your sound that you haven't had before, and
that's-
hopefully we did that with you guys.
That was definitely
you know?
one thing that I really appreciated with you guys, and it was the one thing I thought about with going into BEATSPUN. It was like, with Dreamer, it was this really, really like over-polished, like it doesn't quite sound like us, how we sound live. Where coming to you guys, I was like, I want to capture that live energy and still have it be like a really good produced song, but I want that, You know what I mean? Like capturing that raw energy, the spark that kind of is the band.
Because you can lose that in the studio sometimes,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, because that was the main point. Because I had, like, we were talking about doing the record with you guys, and then we're like, we need to get them in and had a chat. And I was like, well, let's go watch this. Like, we went to Big Fan, because I personally, like, Corey's seen you guys, and I'm like, I needed to see what was up, you know, because I'd heard great things, from, not just from Corey either.
Yeah.
And so we were at Big Fan, and I was like, that's it. Like, that was
You were
it, right?
blown away.
Yeah, we needed to capture.
I was watching you.
We needed to capture.
I was watching you more than the band. And I was like, this guy is like, he loves these guys more than me. Because I was like saying to you guys at the Battle of the Bands, you guys are one of my favorites. This is so cool. You were even more hyped, I think, than me.
Yeah.
You're like, bro, we gotta record these guys. Holy shit, Aiden's good. Fuck, he's a good frontman.
That Big Fan show was one of my favorite shows of the year too, because the sound was so good, and I feel like we just nailed that performance. So I was glad that was the first one you saw.
Well, yeah, it was also the thing. It's like we just walked away. Like we need to get that. We need to package that stage show into the song we do. You know, it's like And I think we tried to do that. I think we did it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, it still sounds very lively and has your energy. We didn't want to lose the energy on that one.
And we tried to keep it like as authentic as possible, you know, like we recorded with my guitar amp. We didn't put too many different settings on it or anything, you know, so it's very close to the live thing. But then also we had a lot of fun with it, and we you know, tried to really focus on the verses, bringing that hip hop element out a bit more.
Well, do you remember when we did the J?
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about that a little bit? Because we wanted to have fun with this, right?
Yeah. So we all did the gang vocals, and we actually used the megaphone and recorded from the megaphone, which is pretty great. In the Storage King.
In the alleyway inside Storage King.
And then James went in the toilets, and I don't know what he was doing in there for a while, but
there's even
sorry about that.
there is a video of that up on the
we got
Instagram.
toilet recordings, guys.
If you want to see that, go check it out. It features James in the Storage King toilets with a megaphone.
Love to have you watching.
That was fun. Hey, we had too much fun doing that, actually.
It was a very fun recording experience. And I always try and have that with every song I'm recording. I don't know, like I want to enjoy the experience of recording it, because for me that's a huge part of it, is like you can tell stories of like, oh yeah, and we did this and that, you know. We even had it with Dreamer, you know, working with Pete and stuff. Like there's so many funny stories, or like, you know, really cool things that happened while we were doing the process of making the song. And I feel that you can kind of hear it in the music almost, especially like if you've recorded it, you listen to it and it just takes you back to all those memories and stuff. Like I'm already feeling nostalgic about JAFA, even though it's like only just released, but it's taking me back to, earlier this year, and we were like, you know, going into BEATSPUN all the time, and, you know, I have that where it's like music kind of captures the history of a moment. So have a good time while you're making it, I guess.
Yeah, like it's funny because I just saw like a video today of Nina Simone, of all people, talking about like capturing essence and time and moments and stuff, and it's like it's so. I think music does it better than most things. Maybe like smell is like
that
probably
is
the other one, right? Like everyone remembers like the way that their cousin's house smelled or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Nana's cooking or like baking. And I was watching. This was there's a quantum physics documentary where they were talking about this, and they said smell is the main one, where you can smell something and it'll transport you to that memory and you'll instantly just be there. But I think sound is the second, where it's like the frequencies can make you feel like it'll link to the memories and make you like kind of relive those moments, I suppose, which is really cool. So yeah, maybe that'll be the next thing, is creating special smells for people. CAPRICORE perfume.
Our phones will have a new app. Yeah, Spotify Smell. You smell the song as you're listening to it.
That could be a concept album, right? you Now I'm sounding like a stoner. I'm like, yeah, man, we could do this. But what if you had the record, and then you listen to each song, and there's like a little smell in the vinyl or something for each song.
That's it. Awesome.
And then
The scratch. The scratch and smell.
Scratch and smell.
And then you have a hidden song, but it's a hidden smell, and it's like shit smell.
Yeah. Gotcha.
It's like those the Harry Potter like jelly beans.
Yeah, the earwax jelly beans.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hit him with the wax.
Well, because there's DJ Newmark is like a guy I follow, and he's done a whole concept album where the whole thing's a cookbook.
Really?
And it's a cookbook. It's a cookbook based on Middle Eastern recipes and stuff like that because he's part Middle Eastern.
Oh yeah.
And the whole process is like there's songs that go with the cookbook and all that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah.
It's like a whole project. Amunu. Yeah, it's like it's just
got
that,
lots of those
that
kind of ideas actually, especially for this band in the future. I think once we leave the whole kind
I love
of
it. Your band's like, what? What are you getting us into?
I'm always thinking ahead. I'm thinking like 10 years ahead or something. But I think once like we're gonna like continue, I think a little bit with like the life in New Zealand kind of theme. And then we'll move on from that where it'll be more about like the music itself and telling different stories through the music. But I've got lots of ideas for concept albums and kind of creating music based on different things. But yeah, I like that smell idea. Like if we have a lot of money, that could be something. It could be something.
Yeah.
So you mentioning that the lyrical content there, I really like that about you guys, how it's relatable.
Yeah.
And it's like a song for the people, JAFA. It's not just your story. It's a story that is almost so well accurately told that everyone can be like, that song, I can agree. And like even when we did those little the Ding interviews.
Yes, so many people just...
What is Auckland if it was a drug? And what was
Yeah.
the most answer we had?
Yeah, meth.
And we always talk about how it's a problem. It's a problem here.
And it's a bit, and the traffic, like
Yep.
the whole song, every line has something that someone in Auckland's going to relate to. And I've actually, what I loved about JAFA is it was the first time I was playing a song and I could literally see people's reactions to like just like one line or something. Like I think it was the domestic violence, you just can't get away from it.
Yeah, they looked a little bit scared when they're looking at their partners. Next
Nah, there was like the first few times I played that song, and this happened every time, and it was a different person, but there was always like the most like buff looking guy, like, you know, being like this, and then it would be like domestic violence, just can't get away from it, and he'd always be like, oh man,
I felt that.
Yeah, like I felt that, man, like. But lots of people, and then like all the West Aucklanders love the first bit, the Metallica or Tupac. Like everyone laughs.
It's so true.
It's so good, yeah.
I mean, because I'm a hip hop dude from out west, so it's like it's like you're either black shirt with Metallica or Tupac on it. But I was never a Tupac fan. I mean, I was a Tupac fan, but I was a little bit more, you know, left of center when it comes to my taste in hip hop stuff. But that line like rings so true.
So it's just like
That was me and Corey's childhood.
Yeah, well,
Literally, I was a
the
hip-hop
representation of it.
if you went to Avondale College after school, you'd get changed out of mufti, and you either wore your Metallica or you'd see the other people with the Tupac. That's how it was, right? So true. That is the best line. And the funniest thing is, we're a bit older than you guys, and it still is a
still
reference
true.
that we can relate
Yeah.
to. So it's kind of funny how some things don't change, you know?
And I think that's something really good with like songwriting and stuff. A lot of the lyrics I write is just from observations, and that makes it like really relatable.
Yeah.
Like "Don't Shank Me" is just literally.
Yeah.
And that's actually a favorite. We put on our story like a poll of like which is your favorite song. We didn't include JAFA because that's kind of already coming out and everything, but "Don't Shank Me" was like the most voted for song, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, that's good. Well, you did perform that at the BEATSPUN Unplugged we did. So we just did that. You guys have just released JAFA. You've got Dreamer. You've got a lot coming up, I think, in the works, it sounds like. Is there anything that you want the people to know to keep an eye and ear out for that's the next thing?
Yeah, I mean, we're still a little bit secret right now, but I'd say that there is going to be another song. I mean, obviously. And yeah, maybe it'll have something to do with shanking in it, but
Just maybe.
yeah. And obviously got a few big shows coming up actually that I'm organizing. So yeah, there's definitely going to be more gigs throughout the year. So yeah, definitely keep tuning into what we're doing because there's going to be lots of stuff.
And is there any bands that you guys...
You laughing at me?
laughing, Jam?
You laughing at me?
Is there any bands that you guys really want to play with and that you look up to and you admire that you'd like to
There's too
share
many.
the stage with?
There's too many.
Any local ones that you dig?
What about,
A quick shout out.
what about Exit Sign?
Well, yeah, but we always talk about exercise. Everyone already knows that. There's. I don't know, have you got any, James?
This is a New Zealand band called Blunt Dog. Not really related to our genre, but very pretty, very nice music that I really like.
Yeah, they sound pretty good. Very good indie rock vibes. And he's crushing a can of Red Bull because he's so cool. You cool?
No, I'm not.
I'm not cool either.
He was a good driver today.
He was a good driver.
Couple
lot of
crazy
maneuvers.
Couple crazy maneuvers.
I was the only one that was driving, so.
Oh.
Hey.
Pass the mic. The rest of you can drink now.
Yeah.
All right, we better get wrapped up. I have no idea. This isn't even a podcast. This is just we just tried to record something for something.
Yep.
Oh, it's definitely a podcast.
It's a podcast of some kind.
Where it's going, no one knows.
BEATSPUN Podcast at Radio BurgerFuel with CAPRICORE.
Unplugged
I don't know.
podcast.
Unplugged podcast. There we go. It's happened now. All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Stream the single, everybody.
Yeah,
JAFA.
stream JAFA. Out
Check
on
it
all
out.
platforms. JAFA.
Bye.
We are Capricorn.